in the playoff hunt coming down the stretch want to go 0-2 this week. So definitely an important game here for both of these teams. You see Senna being taken off the table first here.
Oh my bleeding heart. Do enjoy me some Senna.
Yes. Don't want to see Shadow Jumper on this cast then today, so that's will be the first ban taken off the table here for Trigger Happy. Followed up by an Aatrox.
Yeah. Targeting out that guy who enjoys his Aatrox despite his relatively low win percentage. Next
off the board here will be Shen. Don't want to see Bo on this champion. I believe we saw Shen, Bo on Shen yesterday. No, never mind. Bo didn't actually play or Trigger Happy yesterday. Take that back. Either way, Shen being taken off the table here.
Followed by Orianna, huge Minion Difference, not wanting to face the wonderful ultimate that gathers everyone else up into a nice little tight target. Lux taken off as well.
Yeah, Trigger Happy almost thinking SJ might actually be able to play Lux for the second time this split, but it's only a little bit of a tease as they will take her off the board finally. Nami being locked in first for huge Minion Difference, presumably 4 SJ down in that bot lane.
Ornn, the first pick for Trigger Happy, gonna be on that guy. Ornn having a 64% win rate. That's impressive.
Yeah, Ornn definitely still very strong champion up in top. Definitely also one of that guy's go-to picks once Aatrox is taken off the table. We did see that guy play some Mundo yesterday, which is a little bit of an interesting lock-in for him, but looks like he's back to more of his usual champion pool here with the Ornn.
Speaking of champion pool, Varus is going to be the pick for Trigger Happy's bot lane here.
Yeah, we've seen Minipod play a lot of Varus so far this split. Been pretty successful on it. Definitely one of his comfort picks, so we'll be on that once again. Ashe being locked in for the bot lane for Cairo here, followed by a Gragas pick. Gragas currently undefeated. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say woof.
Gragas OP potentially. We'll see. See if we can keep that going here in week 6.
Ooh, Bard for Trolldanube down in bot lane.
Also one of Troll's champions. We've seen him on a couple times. A split. Lots of comfort picks so far for Trigger Happy. Also just a pretty solid comp so far through 3 picks. Be interesting to see how they round it out in the second pick phase. But Vel'Kod's being taken off the table as well here for Shadow Jumper, as HMD has yet to pick their mid laner, you would think, unless there would be some sort of odd Gragas mid lane situation, but probably still looking to pick up their mid lane.
Ooh, okay. I can dig that. Vladimir taken off the table, keeping that out of Ishan's hands there in the mid lane.
It's an interesting ban. Ishan is known to really play at pretty much any champion, pretty huge champion pool, but I don't think we've seen him play Vladimir so far this split. So interesting Vlad ban, but definitely I guess just did not want to see it on the side of huge Minion Difference.
Diana being the last ban for Team Trigger Happy, keeping it out of the hands of CCO, I suppose. Although I suppose it could also go mid lane. Probably actually goes mid lane more often than not nowadays, doesn't it?
Yeah, and a Cassiopeia ban coming in here.
Ooh, Volibear very quickly picked up from Trigger Happy here. Gonna be a volley jungle. Save could put on some serious work with the bear.
Absolutely, Volibear still very strong. in the jungle as well as other lanes just top. Going to be a good solid jungle to help round out the rest of their team comp here. Morgana. Oh,
more jungle. Hey,
we could definitely be seeing another round of the HMD special Morgana jungle. We can only hope.
it could also be going mid lane here.
Could be going mid. We have to keep faith that it's going to be more jungle. Gangplank. That will be a Gangplank mid here for Shadow Jumper. So wait a minute.
No, it could be Gangplank top, Gragas mid, and Morgana jungle.
It could be. Gragas top is more usual, and we have Shadow Jumper is a very experienced Gangplank player, so leads me to believe it probably would be Gangplank mid, but let's see here.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it shuffles out. Okay, Gragas top. Morgana jungle, Gangplank mid. Good call.
There it is. This is a very interesting comp here for Huge Minion Difference. I, for one, am optimistic and intrigued.
Indeed. Trigger Happy's comp, a little bit more orthodox. Ishan on the Victor, something I believe we've seen him do before. Victor being one of the stronger mid laners that we have in the ALS. I'm many potted trolled and noob down bot lane with a really neat comp. I don't think Varus is particularly strong right now at the moment, given the sea of nerfs that they've given him.
I'm actually unfamiliar with these nerfs. It has been on the recent patch. I may have missed those, but definitely, as you said, more orthodox comp here from Trigger Happy. But as we did see when HMD was able to take down Iron Dragon with the Morgana jungle, they got just a little bit of a lead early on with the pressure from Morgana, and really just was able to completely effectively snowball that, giving really no chance for Iron Dragon. It is possible that Volibear will face better into the early jungling matchup with the Morgana than Elise did in that game. Not 100% sure on that, but we'll have to see how it ends up working out. But you would think, despite the heavy scaling coming in from Gangplank, you would think if this game goes late that Trigger Happy is definitely going to have the advantage. Ornn obviously super good at buffing up his teammates as the game gets longer. Going to be some solid damage coming out from Victor. Just honestly an all-around better team fighting comp with the solid front line on the side of Trigger Happy. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Definitely feel like Trigger Happy is going to try to go for the late game here, indeed, with Huge Minion Difference. Going to probably look to end this in the mid game, given their current comp.
It'll be interesting to see the Varus build. That's going to be a huge part about this game.
Yeah, whether or not it's the lethality build or the machine gun build, as they like to call it, will decide a lot, I think.
Because normally I'm more pro for the Bork build on Varus, just standard ADC build, but against this comp, not too many tanks, not really any tanks you're going to have to be able to shred through, so it probably would be much more effective just to go ahead and build lethality. So you're not going to need too much sustained DPS in team fights. You're kind of just going to be looking to pick some people off, blow some people up, as well as Victor going to be assisting in that job as well. So it will be interesting to see what he does opt to take here.
Indeed. Kinder, I think it's time to reinstate a time-honored ALS tradition.
Oh, I think you actually might be right about that. What's the deal? What's the deal? What are we doing?
We're going to bet a random skin on it.
Random skin.
And I will let you choose the team, because it is that much of a 50-50.
It is. I am... Both of these teams are very hungry for a win. Very close in the standings. Big game, a lot on the line. I am going to take... My hesitation should definitely be construed as confidence. I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with my boys Trigger Happy. I think 100%.
All right, I will happily take huge Minion Difference here.
Right.
And let's sweeten the pot. If you can guess the minute right, and I'll guess a different minute, then if you win, it's not a random skin, it's a specific skin.
Any skin. All right, it has to be the exact minute or within 2 minutes.
No, the minute that it ends.
All right. I'm gonna go Trigger Happy in 32.
All right, huge Minion Difference at 28.
All right.
Somebody keep track of that in chat.
I'm gonna switch to 33. I'm gonna go Trigger Happy in 33.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely gonna be a super close game. I think, as my prediction has been extended into the 30 minutes. But again, I feel like it's really gonna come down to this early game a lot, whether or not CCO is gonna be able to have impact on this Morgana jungle as he did previously.
Indeed.
I feel like if huge Minion Difference falls behind a little bit, it's gonna be tough for them to stick in the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. If Trigger Happy can start their snowball early, it will definitely tilt hard into their favor. However, Huge Minion Difference has put on quite a showing with several of these champions before, so fingers crossed we will get a really unique experience out of this.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Shadow Jumper, very proficient on this Gangplank. Usually known as definitely a very well scaling champion, but has been known to be able to make some plays. Early is moving into the mid game, so also going to need to keep an eye on him. As well as Gragas top is honestly a pretty strong pick right now, so I'm not sure how he matches up into Ornn. You wouldn't think it would be too good, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that matchup.
Indeed, as we have a pretty uneventful start.
Yeah, both teams just rolling out pretty standard. Actually, well, HMD did get those wards down, so would spot out any sort of invade shenanigans on the side of Trigger Happy. No level 1 invades today, Monochrome, sorry.
Shame.
But it does appear both junglers will be starting bot side camps here for that bot side leash. Be interesting to see what clear CCO opts to do, if he will do a full clear of his red side before heading up bot, or opts to leave out his Krugs. Looks like he will be heading straight to that Raptor camp. Probably looking to do Raptors into Wolves into Blue into a lane gang around Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, this is pretty uneventful. Some trading going on across the lanes.
Oh, huge chunk of damage going on to Ishan there. Exploding barrel from Shadow Jumper lands.
Yeah, Shadow Jumper flashing the mastery for good measure.
A little bit of trading going on in the bot lane as Cairo gets some damage back on the Troll the Noob. Pretty even trade all around, but SJ will be able to mitigate some of that with the heals.
Indeed, Troll the Noob also able to heal himself up. Gonna keep this bot lane pretty much at parity.
A little bit of a invade coming in here through from Save, but as we do see CCO at the same time hovering that top side, but will be spotted out on a ward. Meanwhile, mid lane gank coming.
Yeah, just a fair bit of damage on a Shadow Jumper. won't result in a kill just yet. But there will be a nice little fight around the scuttle here. Savape getting really low. Stun going down onto Morgana. CCO eating a lot of damage here. Savape getting lots of shields back onto himself, but it's going to end up being his death as Ishan's going to be able to flash away to safety. Oh, a 1-for-1 trade, but first blood going on to somebody got a kill. Down.
Ishan got the first blood.
Ishan got the first blood, and a kill down bot lane as SJ Capping going to get picked off by the Bard of Trolldanube.
Also in that fight in the top river, Savape had a pretty aggressive but calculated flash back into the fight to grab the first blood onto CCO. Did end up losing his life, but grabbed the first blood for his team. So definitely net positive.
Speaking of CCO in a bit of a bind here as the bar stun's going to land. Another kill going off. And that's a dead Morgana.
Yeah, if you're HMD, this is really not the start you really wanted to have happen. 2 deaths already on this Morgana. Falling a little bit behind.
Ooh. Ishan's eating a ton of damage here, though. Shadow Jumper going to eventually be stunned, but the orange gets him out of it, and he follows it up with a kill. Solo kill on a Shadow Jumper in the mid lane.
Yeah, and as we were saying, Shadow Jumper just super clean on this gangplank. Already really, I don't know if dominating is where I use, but definitely playing quite strong in this mid lane against Ishan. He's looked less than comfortable in this victor so far. That guy pretty low in the top lane as the wave will be being pushed in. Ocean Drag is the first Drake of the game as it has now spawned into the Rift. SJ getting a little bit of vision on that for her team. CCO now hovering this mid lane.
Indeed. Shadow Jumper setting up some barrels for some nice trading here in a minute. We'll get picked off. Oof. While all that was happening, bad trade going up top lane as that guy is super low here.
That guy gonna have to recall. Bo opting to do it as well. But if you're HMD, right now honestly is a great time as we do see CCO back in the mid lane. We'll be spotted out.
Yeah, Trolldanube getting super aggressive here on this Bard.
But with the flash being down on Ishan, it is a great opportunity for CCO to have some impact on this mid lane and kind of continue the positive flow that Shadow Jumper has been able to have on this gangplank. They can make some play happen before the flash comes back up. Get some sort of momentum for their team. Both junglers returning now to their original buff camps as they have now respawned. Lots of vision around this Drake for Trigger Happy. The pink ward will be spotted out though by CCO. He will surely clear it away.
Yeah, CCO gonna have to back here. Ooh. Good stun from Trolldanube onto Cairo, kind of stalling that aggression out. So Vape is hovering down here in the bot lane. Got to get spotted out by a well-timed, I don't even know the name of that ability. Hawk Shot, there we go. From the Ashe.
Yeah, Hawk Shot definitely a super useful skill in Ashe's repertoire. A lot of people, I feel like, underappreciate the ability just to find out what's going on in a specific part of the map when you need to know. Oh, nice stun there from Trolldanube.
Indeed. Of note, it looks like I and Minipod will be going the lethality build on this Varus.
This absolutely does have Arcane Comet and has picked up that Serrated Dirk. CS numbers pretty even across the board right now. Only discrepancy is a little bit in this top lane. But all in all, pretty even across the board. Gold lead only about 1,300 in favor of Trigger Happy right now. Oh, top lane.
Big fight going down. Bo getting a ton of damage. Explosive cast landing perfectly to get the enemy team away from him. And we'll just be able to walk away from that fight.
Also see Troll now hovering this mid lane. Eyeing Shadow Jumper. Shadow Jumper's flash unavailable, but Troll's a little bit low on HP here. Not sure if a dive is what they want, and he will be just backing off. But on the top side, his team has started the Herald.
Indeed. Trigger Happy, not one to miss an easy opportunity. Trolldude still hovering this mid lane. Ooh, almost lands the stun. The ult coming in from Ishan. Gonna fall short, but it's gonna force Shadow Jumper out of lane. As CCO decides to duke it out with Trolldude.
Oh!
And Trolldude just barely escapes. Rift Herald drop in the mid lane. It's going to be a lot of gold into the pocket of Trigger Happy as this charge goes off.
Saw the damage that came out onto Troll the Noob there on this Bard as well. One Dark Binding in the pool shows how much damage comes out from Morgana. Only has an Amplifying Totem right now. Hasn't even really completed much of her jungle item, but so much damage available on Morgana, especially once that Runic Echoes is completed. Neither team has had much of an opportunity to make a play around this Drake. That's pretty slow and methodical early game here from both teams. See Minipod by himself in the spot lane, trying to pick off some CS from a range. Seeing lots of pings now coming in around this Drake from the side of Trigger Happy.
Yeah, both teams kind of positioning here.
Yeah, and honestly, the bot lane for HMD has kind of just given over priority of the bot side. Minipod was alone in the bot lane for so long and able to just keep priority in the lane, so we'll end up being this Drake for Trigger Happy as a result.
Indeed, and an Ocean Drake at that.
Trigger Happy does have that 10 CS advantage in both the mid and top lane to help pad their gold advantage here.
CCO hovering this mid lane here, definitely wants to get in onto this Victor. Pops the ult, gonna force the flash out of the falling short. Victor, there we go.
Ishan, and again, this is a big opportunity when Flash is down on Victor. Oh, as we do see a shutdown now as the bot lane. HMD
Violet
bot
decides
lane
to go in. I am Minipod, gonna pop the heal and pick up enough of the shrines to stay alive. Gonna dodge the binding as well, as just gets to stay pretty safe under tower here. Minion Wave wasn't pushed up near far enough to force the issue. As looks like we're gonna have a nice little fight over blue buff here in a second.
Trying to give Ishan this blue. Will end up picking it up. CCJ looks to just retreat back into his own side of the map. But once again, pretty big window here with this flash down on Ishan. Look to maybe try to get the wave pushed back in the side of HMD's favor and look for a play here to try to get some more gold onto Shadow Jumper or CCO and try to get some sort of snowball going through this mid lane. And there's a blue buff on the table for you too. Buff transfer. Go pick that up.
That would be amazing. He's like popped up in your room, I'm standing on the floor.
Roll the noob standing on a ward. We'll spot it out with that pink. Maybe a little too aggressive here as they don't have much assistance from the team. We'll just walk away. Concede the vision control of that bush. We'll be hit by the Dark Binding.
Ooh, great stun on Ion Minipod. Lots of damage going out. That Varus is in danger. And the kill will be picked up. CCO stepping up to secure that kill for sure. And, this is just bold. That was greedy, and I'm going to call you out on that one, CCO. However, Cairo will return the kill right back.
It could result in some turret plates, though. Oh, no, I'm sorry, turret plates are gone. I lied.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cairo was taken really low early on. It doesn't look low right now. It actually has healed up quite a bit, but was able to not die. Able to take out Ion Minipod, so well played there from the bot lane from HMD. Back at full HP before she even has to go to the fountain. Savape a little deep now, eyeing this mid lane.
Ooh, CCO just finding out that his blue buff had been taken from him.
Shadow Jumper realizing he's a little bit out of position.
Yeah, looks like he's ready and willing to fight this out. Savape dropping the ult.
Able to walk away, not even having to use flash.
Well done on Shadow Jumper there.
Yeah, absolutely. Second Drake of the game will be spawning in here in just a moment. Will be a Mountain Drake.
Yeah, this time, Huge Minion Difference in a lot better position to contest this, I think.
Still don't have priority in the bot lane, but this wave will be cleared, so we're pretty neutral. Have a chance to grab it themselves. Mid lane as well, pretty neutral. Let's see who ends up getting over to this objective first. Looks like HMD can have this. Scuttle Crab is in the favor, though, of Trigger Happy, so...
Ooh, kill picked up on Varus. The Morgana of CCO securing that with the Tainted Shadow. Is that word? I keep getting the name mixed up since they changed it.
And that's going to be Drake. Some pretty solid pickup there for HMD to secure that. Would have been a very difficult objective to contest for both teams.
Indeed.
Definitely would have seen a fight break out.
Trigger Happy, not one to just take it with their bellies up. They're going to go for the Rift Herald here. It's going to take a while, but they'll get it.
Yeah, good job making sure they get something. HMD didn't seem to want to rotate and try to contest this, so good job from Trigger Happy to lose the Drake and pick up the Herald. And this has been a pretty close game. I mean, we were talking about it in the pregame, both these teams really wanting not to go 0-2 this week as we move towards the last few weeks of the season with the playoff hunt heating up a little bit. Definitely living up to the hype. How are you feeling about your prediction right now?
Confident.
Confident?
Yeah, gold is literally dead even. I had 28.
Excuse me.
I've got 10 minutes for them to win.
That's fair, that's fair.
And I mean exactly 10 minutes. They got to do it in... And a 60-second window. Don't you disappoint me, boys.
Gold lead is exactly neck and neck right now. Less than 100 gold separates these two teams.
Ooh, Cairo in a bit of a sketchy spot here. Gonna have to flash the Bartle, but he flashed in the wrong direction, and it's gonna cost him his life, as Savape's just gonna make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, you would think if Cairo just flashed back towards his base, probably would have ended up getting out of that situation, but a little bit of a panic flash, probably. Not wanting to get immobilized by the Bartle, so will cost him his life. Oh, turret dive
Speaking
now.
of costing lives, Savape gonna be in a bit of danger here. Or not Savape, but SJ capping. Oh, but Shadow Jumper also in a bit of danger in the mid lane. Victor Ult going down, chasing him around. He's gonna have to flash to get away. Ishan, very capable of doing a lot of damage.
Ishan looking much better outside of the first couple minutes here on this Victor. Up about 40 CS now. Victor's gonna definitely start packing a punch in any of these fights that break out here as we approach the mid game. Also, SJ really just not respecting the ultimate from Volibear as the 1v3 situation bot, and definitely it's gonna be a 1-for-0 favor Trigger Happy.
Ooh.
Oh, that damage!
That was 2 ults for that 4 Bard. And Cairo securing the kill with his own.
But that's that AP damage coming from Morgana. Like, once she completes Runic Echoes, she now has pretty good start on the Zhonya's Hourglass as well. Lots of damage available. I mean, Bard is not a tanky champion by any means. Definitely not a huge health bar, but he just got absolutely blown up by CCO already, and he's only gonna get more damage as we move on. It's been a pretty quiet top lane. Haven't seen too much inside of that guy or Bo, really, so far in this game. So we do see Savape now potentially in a bad situation.
Dodges every last bit of CC, though.
Yeah, great job there. Not getting caught by that bubble. Oh, it's SJ now, though.
Yeah, VAR Assault going down. Gonna pop the Nami ult to try to stay safe. But the College the Forge God going back for another knockup. I am Minipod landing his long-range snipe and getting that kill. Savape could be in a bit of danger here as Cairo wants to duke it out. Bard missing the stun. That guy the new target as he is going to try to flash his way to safety. But the ult from Shadow Jumper keeping him slowed down more than long enough for Cairo to get the kill. Shadow Jumper now the one in danger, and Bo as well. As the Victor ult goes down, this fight just will not seem to end.
Yeah, Ishan was just not there for that fight when it broke out in the top river. He was down in the bot lane, so able to roam up now. Oh, getting caught by the CC
Ooh,
from the
Ishan
asshole.
managed to get picked off. What a great kill from Cairo. Able to dance around the damage and keep himself alive. CCO with a massive Tainted Shadow there.
But yeah, that fight could have honestly ended way worse for Trigger Happy. Like, Ishan was not there at all and was looking super in the favor of HMD. But it just got drawn out so long, and HMD kept trying to get more. Ishan was able to roam up and almost even it out a little bit until he got picked off there at the end. But this next
This game is so close.
It is very close. This is definitely... Oh,
great binding
damage.
landing on I am Minipod, taking him straight down to half health.
Looking for more. And the CDs on the Dark Binding is just honestly so short. You really have to be ready for rapid fire dodging action. Tempered Fate will be
Bard
missing.
ult. Indeed.
But Trigger Happy does have priority over this river. TP, we do see TP coming in from Shadow Jumper to join his team here. TP also available on Bo. Also coming in.
Pink. Looks like we're gonna have a nice big fight down here. The ult coming in from Savate, hopping onto SJ Capping. Bo in the enemy lines, taking a lot of damage, and manages to stay alive. Two members of Trigger Happy fall, and it's soon to be a third and a fourth. Cairo is just mowing through the enemy team. And finally, an ace will go out. CCO not dying in that, despite the fact that he was probably at 10% health that entire fight, and that will be Dragon picked up. And a fantastic fight for huge Minion Difference.
Yeah, and Trigger Happy used the Call of the Forge God and the ultimate from Volibear to really engage onto one person, which they didn't even end up killing that person, and they never ended up diving the backline at all. So Cairo and Shadow Jumper were able to just continuously put out damage with really no threat of being killed at all. And it was really just kind of a poorly executed engage on the side of Trigger Happy, unable to really accomplish much in that fight.
Dragon picked up along with most of the jungle, or bot side jungle, of Team Trigger Happy. And the gold has once again swung in the favor of huge Minion Difference. But at the pace of this game, we'll see how long that lasts.
And it's really interesting. The last fight was honestly really interesting because you would think, we were talking about earlier that the team fighting from the side of Trigger Happy will benefit them as the game goes later, but they really seem to have a difficult time engaging onto the backline, which you'd think wouldn't be an issue with the Ornn ult and Volibear ult. So it would be really interesting to see if they're able to have more success on an engage the next time they have an opportunity to do so. Also, it would be super clutch if they could use some really effective Tempered Fate to set up an engage with those ultimates as well. So it would really be on them to see if they are able to execute as we move forward in this one. Also, Vera's ultimate. They have the tools at their exposure to win these team fights and engage properly, but we'll have to see. Top lane,
Speaking of tools, Bo getting picked off here, trying to 1v1 that Victor. Is going to fall short. CCO going to do his best, kind of dance around this massive bear, who's going to ult in. That is a great ult from Trolldanoob, as this fight will continue on. CCO going to Hourglass to keep alive for a little bit longer. Going to try to dance around all of this. Will be popped off by the Victor. Ishan getting that kill. Morgana's just dying there.
It's going to end up being a 2-for-1.
Yeah, did a pretty good job of staying alive for quite a while, but will eventually fall short. And as we hit the 26-minute mark, I think my prediction is looking a little sketchy. At least for the exact time.
It would be quite remarkable if HMD was able to end this game in the next
3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah. But, you know, strange things have happened in League. Doesn't take much sometimes to really swing a game. But yes, I'm feeling, I don't know. I'm definitely still confident in my 33-minute prediction. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but 33-minute on whose team?
Me, what I said. I'm very confident. Trigger Happy in 33. It's going to happen. But I don't want them to give up this next win, Drake, to HMD if this is going to happen. So, the next minute and 30 seconds or so, that objective will be spawning in here. We do see Trigger Happy on this bot side of the map. Try and get some deep vision inside HMD's jungle. And ending up just going to walk away, let them clear it all right out. Not going to be able to grab any picks. Does have a nice solid ward line still in the river. But nothing extending into that jungle. Yeah, Trigger Happy doing a great job of getting this early setup on this objective. Really don't want to hand this over to this side of HMD and get them
very aggressive Ash ult. Ishan going to be knocked around by the explosive cast here. And, oof, good timing on that Varus Q. SJ Capping getting a lot of damage there. Bard really stalling out that fight. Bo now trying to maybe pick off the Bard of Trolldanoob. However, it will just fall short.
This is going to give HMD priority over this dragon as well. Minipod forced to reset. Also not going to have flash for this next fight over this objective. So great job from HMD. Although Cairo maybe out of
Cairo in a very poor position here. But CCO is in the back line. Lots of damage going on. That Bard is dead. Bo's going to quickly follow, however. Cairo coming in for some massive auto attacks, but the Victor ult just chunking down. All in all, that fight seemed to go in favor of Trigger Happy, but it's not quite over yet, as both teams are dancing around the Dragon Pit. We're going to have ourselves a smite off, I think. Oh, no, Trigger Happy looking to back off here a bit, wanting to see if I Am Minipod can do some chunkage. Dragon now the priority of Huge Minion Difference. And it will eventually go to Huge Minion Difference as a massive fight breaks down. Savape, super low, will eventually fall. Cairo tearing through these tanks, starting onto I Am Minipod, who just barely lives. Cairo trying to pick off somebody else as I Am Minipod puts out a nice little consolation Q, trying to pick off a last-second kill after that fight. Cairo maybe in a little bit of danger here. We'll be able to just kind of dance away.
And once again, we kind of saw Trigger Happy not having the right tools to engage. Call to the Forge guy was blown pretty much for nothing to kill Bo, but Bo was already going to die earlier on in the 1-for-1. And so Call to the Forge guy was not available for that dragon fight when it actually ended up breaking out. So there's really no way for them to get in. There's just too much kiting available on the side of HMD, and that's the constant struggle that Trigger Happy's been having to face this game.
That guy having to blow his flash up in top lane to get away from Bo and Shadow Jumper there.
Ultimately, I feel like Trigger Happy has just not been executing their team fights well enough, and they definitely, like I said, they definitely have the tools to do so. They have the engage tools. They've got the CC, they got the Verisol, they got the Ornal, they got the Volley Barrel, they got the Bardal. They got so many tools at their exposure to really try to lock some of these people down and get into a position to take them out, but have been unable to do so as a unit. And there's another Ornal just completely wasted.
Indeed.
It's definitely been the story of the game so far for Trigger Happy. Luckily for them, no objectives really on the table. HMD is not really contesting this Baron right now. And 3 minutes still left on the table for the soul points. So definitely not going to be too much of an issue that the Forge guy was wasted there. But the Ashol
going down into a great binding. Lots of damage go off. Explosive cast goes out. The Varus will, or not the Varus, the Victor will pick up a kill. CCO going to try to stay alive as long as possible here. Going to pop his Zonia's Hourglass. All in all, a 2-for-1 favoring Huge Minion Difference.
Yeah, HMD is doing a great job, honestly, of just in general this game, of playing their comp well. Don't have any tanks. They're taking very calculated fights, catching out Minipod and Ishan, honestly, several times. So definitely been played quite well on the side of HMD.
Bo going back for a re-engage here. Gets stunned. Troll Noob landing the Q very effectively. Bo going to use his Zonius to just kind of stall out and get his CDs back up, and we'll get out pretty scot-free. That is a fairly long cooldown on that item, though.
And you would think that the lack of a front line would be an issue for HMD at this point in the game. But again, Trigger Happy has really just been unable to really do much of anything for the past several minutes, to be entirely honest. And the entire game with their engage, they haven't been unable to execute on their engage. It's been like very uncoordinated. And if they're unable to make some sort of coordinated engage to a play happen around either this dragon rather, on this next objective, or on the Baron, this game's probably not going to last much longer.
How many meeps does this Bard have? 4? Good lord.
soul point now in only 50 seconds. And Trigger Happy seems to be not aware of the priority that HMD has been putting on this objective. Either that, or they may be trying to make some sort of cheesy trade play. You see the pings now coming out from HMD, checking it with the Hawk Shot.
Oh, the Forge God going out. Gonna fall short once again. Binding going down on a Survey. Trolldanoob in serious danger here. CCO popping his own hourglass to stay safe. Redemption used from the SJ capping just to kind of give his team a little bit more health. And that is a decidedly one team fight for a huge minion difference here. As two members of the enemy team are picked off. Dragon's going to be spawning in just a second. And it will be their soul to take.
And once again, like, Call of the Forge God completely missed everybody. And they just continue the engage, and there seems to be just no coordination whatsoever between the members of Trigger Happy right now to make a decisive call to either continue or to back up or to really do anything effectively as a unit right now.
And the next call will be Baron, as Huge Minion Difference looks to start closing out this game significantly later than either one of us predicted. However, they are looking for an end.
We see
landing onto that guy. Lots of damage going on. Unstoppable coming out. He will be picked off anyway, though. As Minipod just tries to poke as much as possible. The Bard passage is kind of give them an opportunity to steal, but it's not going to matter. SJ capping, popping the ult. Big fight going down. That Bear is really tanky, and this fight's far from over, but Savape is now the one in danger as that Shadow Jumper does massive damage. CCO looking for a binding here onto the virus of Minipod. Will have to give up on it. Ooh, that barrel's just out of range. That could have been a very dead virus.
HMD looking to tear down the base now. Trigger Happy with this Baron power play. Death timers. Still got a little bit of time left on them, but they're just going to take the inhibitor and look to potentially reset and spend some of their gold.
Indeed, as CCO currently sitting with 2,000 gold in his pocket, and Shadow Jumper currently sitting with 3,000 gold in his pocket. This team has a lot to do with their gold.
I've been talking a lot about how Trigger Happy has not been playing this very well, but and that's very true. But on the opposite side of that, you'd say HMD has also been playing very well. They're doing a good job of not letting the sort of like haphazard engages work at all. They're doing a great job of kiting. They're using their flashes quite effectively to remain at safe distances. So it's also something we shouldn't overlook, as well as the fact that HMD has been playing pretty cleanly themselves on a lot of the counter engages. Savape gonna sidestep that arrow.
Yeah. Bo going for the belly flop, and the Ash arrow gonna go through, but neither one going to land.
CCO looking to maybe make a play. Look at that damage onto Ishan. Oh my goodness.
Oof. That is a dead mid laner. CCO coming back in for the fight. Gonna land the binding onto Savape, but CCO's eating a lot of damage here. Redemption coming through, being a massive heal. Savape the one in danger now. Bo is going deep into the enemy lines. That guy the new target. Or CCO is going to attempt to maybe pick off Trolldanoob. This Varus is unable to really help his team. All he can really do is stand back and snipe. That guy eventually going to fall here. Massive Ash Arrow going to secure the kill, and that will be the game as Baron, Buff, and Soul will push these minions right to the Nexus. That will be destroyed, and we have a winner. Huge Minion Difference picking up the win after an incredibly long game.
Absolutely. Again, neither of us definitely predicted the game was going to go that long. But you did, in fact, have the HMD prediction, so you will, in fact, get that mystery skin.
Indeed, indeed. I think I've been wrong on a single prediction this entire split.
When you gave me the option to choose, I was honestly wanting to give it back to you because I I knew I was gonna pick wrong because I continually pick wrong in our bets that we make. But next time I'll make you pick it first. We'll see. But either way, it's great game. Great game from Huge Minion Difference. And again, that game went so long. We were talking in the pregame about how if this game ends up going late, it's definitely going to favor Trigger Happy. And honestly, it should have with their comp. It just Trigger Happy was so uncoordinated throughout most of this game, and all their engages that they had, really unable to ever mount some sort of team fight onto Huge Minion Difference, which you do have to give HMD some sort of credit as well. They did play quite well on those counter engages. But either way, great game for Huge Minion Difference to pick up this game and not go 0-2 on the week.
Indeed, and that brings in an even closer race for the playoffs, as I believe Huge Minion Difference and Trigger Happy now have a matching record.
He's joined by the man himself in the mid lane on the Gangplank, Shadow Jumper.
It's me. Hello, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. 7-0 and 16 on this Gangplank.
Yeah, that happened.
So your comp was a little interesting. Was you really didn't have much of a front line at all?
Mm-hmm.
Was this something you guys were worried about potentially? In the draft, you're thinking you were gonna have to end the game early, or what were kind of your thoughts on the game state in general?
So when we started off with the draft, we had a couple ideas of what we wanted to run today, but we decided to go with the Nami pick first because it was kind of safe. SJ is pretty confident on it, so I was like, okay, let's pick Nami, see where we go from there, and then obviously the picks went as we went down the line. I think our next two was, I think it was Ornn that followed, and then Varus, if I remember correctly. And then as we were going down the line, we were just like, okay, trying to balance AP versus AD. And then, yeah, I mean, a little bit when it came to the frontline situation with our team comp, but what really worked well was Nami R, Ashe R, Gangplank slow, Morgana Q with ultimate catch, Gragas dive in E with the R. A lot of it worked pretty well in the end. So that was pretty much the thoughts going around. More on the pick side of things,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys did a great job with that, and also did a great job of countering the engages attempts that came through from Trigger Happy.
They were scary, I must say. When Volibear ults on top of you, Ornn ults you, Varus ults, Bard ults, it's a lot of pressure. So
we were definitely surprised that you guys didn't end up getting outscaled in that game. But again, you guys did a great job of really just not letting them get on top of you. So
it really came down to if we could survive that huge all-in, I think the fights were pretty winnable, if not easily winnable. It's that scary engage that we were just very, very cognizant over. But as you see, I didn't die once, so we're doing it.
Absolutely. So definitely, I'm sure this win feels pretty good coming off of your loss yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you guys feeling now at 5-6, right back in the middle of the pack again, moving into the last 3 weeks of the split?
One thing that I noticed with HMD especially is that if we have good team coordination, good comms, and overall just a good time. I wish that you heard some of the banter that was actually happening over our voice call. When we're having a bunch of fun, that's when HMD really shines. So if we continue to be in this healthy mindset of yeah, we're gonna come in, we're gonna play our best, we're gonna have a good time, vibe together, I think that we can bare minimum get third place.
I like that.
I don't I'll be realistic. I don't know if we can, obviously take down NG Blossom. They're hilariously good, and we respect them entirely. But you know what? I'm shooting for 3rd place, and hopefully I'll see you guys there.
Absolutely. Mono, you have anything to add?
Yeah, Mono, what's up?
So CCO got his Morgana jungle this time.
He sure did.
Was that something that you were really particularly hoping for?
Well,
Or
honestly, we were talking in a pick or ban phase, and we honestly didn't think about running Morgana today. That actually wasn't in our ideas. So once we realized like what we could possibly do around the Morgana, we kind of were just like, yep, pick it. It's open. It's free. He's good on it. We're confident. He's confident. And look at that. He lands a lot of good cues, a lot of good plays, had some good map control. There you go. It kind of just played itself, I'm confident as the captain when he's on his Morgana that I'm like, okay, I can relax a little. I can just farm mid lane and kind of just hang out. You know what I mean?
fantastic. Well, that confidence has earned me yet another skin and a win on my prediction chart. So
Yeah.
much appreciated.
Of course.
I think on that note, we will be cutting to a quick break as we get the next game up super quick.
Sure.
And thank you very much for joining us, Shadow Jumper, and we wish you the best of luck going further into the split.
Anytime, guys. Thanks again. I'll be seeing you guys on the Rift.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a short break here, and we will be back with game number 3 of the day, which will be Apes Together Strong versus who actually did pick up their first win yesterday, if you missed that. Apes Together Strong versus Kisses for Cats.